Canadian users have several parameters that should be set up so they can monitor their Canadian content. This tutorial will cover the key areas that you should have set up to do this. In order to create reports for Canadian content, you must have a field that contains this information. This field is generally called content, but can be named anything you'd like. This field is what we call an attribute field. You can set up the individual codes by going to Dataset, Library, Attributes. One code will be C for Canadian content. You can add other codes as needed. Once defined, you'll want to make sure each song has an appropriate code assigned to it. For the various reports, there are some specific custom time periods that are used to make the calculations. You can set these up under Tools, Options, Custom Time Periods. The first time period to set is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is done by using the drop-down boxes. The second time period should be 6 a.m. to midnight. While you're in Tools Options, you can also set the broadcast week. This should be set to Sunday midnight. After you've made these two changes, click Apply and OK. Now that you have coded your music for Canadian content and set up the time periods, you can use Instant Analysis in the Schedule Editor to see if you are on target. Select the Schedule Analysis icon and the Instant Analysis tab. You'll want to set up several panels to view this information. The first should have a period of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. with a target of your Canadian content elements and a music setting. This is tested against song elements. While the display can be a personal choice, most find the count, total percentage information most useful. The label can be any name that is meaningful to you. We'll repeat this process now and set up a panel for 6 a.m. to midnight. We can do this quickly by cloning the first panel we created and making the adjustments. While we're doing that, there is one important thing to point out. With custom time periods, you must be in that time period for information to show in the panel. If you have a panel for 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and have the cursor in the midnight hour, the panel will show no information. It will only show information when you are in the time periods listed in the panels. Now that we've configured Instant Analysis, you can go to the Toggle Toolbars icon to put that panel on your screen. You can size and locate this floating panel anywhere you'd like. Notice we are in the midnight hour and the panel is empty. Once we click into the 6 a.m. hour, the panel populates. These panels will now give you an instant snapshot of what is going on in the log. You can also run the CRTC self-assessment report by going to Dataset, Analysis, Special History Reports. Here, it is important that you not only set up the date range, but that you include only your music categories when running the report. Also, you'll need to set up the Options tab. Using the drop-down, you'll be able to find the matching fields in your data. Once you run the report, this information will be saved for future reference. When run, the assessment will give you information about your broadcast periods and the percentages of Canadian content. You can save or print this report. The report designed to be submitted to the governmental agency is the SOCAN report. There is already a separate video in the History Report section on how to create a SOCAN report.